What is going on, everybody? Welcome back. First week of football looks to be just about complete. I'm still waiting for a couple other scores. A lot of people, if you tuned in on NFHS today, you've seen Londonderry coming down from New Hampshire playing Bishop Hendricken. What a good game it was for all the kids there. I know Bishop Hendricken's very, very young this year. Some other games, LaSalle had a good game against Curtis. A lot of good football went on today. Hendricken, North Kingstown, LaSalle, and Central all in Division One this season. But I'm going to thank my sponsors real quick, and then we're going to bring KIETH Croft on. Let me just tune up the video, and everyone must know who KIETH Croft is. He has a great podcast also. Go check that out. I'm going to ask KIETH about his podcast as well. A lot of good football went on. Another good game. KIETH Croft, how you doing? Welcome, Bishop Hendricken, the guy that with the master plan right here. Finally.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for having me on. We appreciate all your coverage for high school athletes this year.
It's been a long time, as KIETH Croft's on my bucket list. Got to get him on the show. Great game today. You had to start the season against a very good team from New Hampshire. I think they're the third best team in New Hampshire.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly. I think they're the defending state champs, and from what I understand, they'll be one of the top teams in New Hampshire again this year. And they looked really good today. I think I've been talking to their coach in the offseason. I think he might have reached out to you at one point too. I would say they're comparable to all the top teams in Rhode Island. Very athletic, well coached, good speed. It was a really good contest for our guys.
Yeah, we had him on the show, and when I met him, I asked him to come on, do an interview. And at the time, he was contemplating playing Bishop Hendricken. Who should he play? I said, well, you want to play the two top dogs right now? It seems to be Hendricken and Central. Yeah, Central being an inner city school, really stepping up into the D1 scene, playing very good football, So he said, who is a better team? I said, they're both very, very good programs. I said, but if you want to play the best, you have to play Hendricken. You want to play a tough team, you play Central. And he said that he wanted to play the best. So the best is right now Bishop Hendricken.
Well, I mean, we'll see what happens. We'll see how the year plays out. But, we appreciate the kind words and new season, fresh start. So we'll see how things end up this year.
Yeah, every year it's a reset.
It is.
Reset. Yep. And you've been doing very well since like 2009, 2010. How you must feel great about the success of Hendricken football.
Yeah, I mean, we're really proud of it. I mean, obviously, a lot of work goes into it. A lot of off season, a lot of summer work. Our kids. I think as a private school, us in LaSalle, sometimes we get, sometimes it's unfair. We get the stigma that it's easy to coach at these places, and obviously, there's definitely sometimes we have advantages over schools, but I think it discredits our kids and coaches. Really at any school, but I think that any school, when you have success, the easy thing to say is you have athletes, and we do. We have really good players, but we really believe in hard work, and our kids and coaches, they work really hard. And that's not to say other coaches and other programs don't, because you look at these four teams in Division I, and you've mentioned it now, it's it's going to be a gauntlet this year. I mean, obviously LaSalle is LaSalle, and Central Mike Washington has done a phenomenal job with that program. I'm a big fan of his. He's done everything he can with those kids to just push them, motivate them, and they seem like they had a fantastic offseason. And North Kingston's North Kingston. You know, I almost feel like they've been kind of forgotten about a little bit this year, and we got them next week, and they've been a huge challenge for us the last few years, and I expect nothing different next week.
Right, and North Kingstown played Portsmouth, and Emerson Kilgore was on last night and said, even though North Kingstown won 20-0, the score does not really tell the story of the game. Portsmouth was a no-give-up team, and that's another team that you have played in the past and being a former Division I program.
Yeah, I mean, North Kingston is another program. You know, talk about all these Division I programs. LaSalle, Coach Marcone obviously has done it for years, and Coach Dempsey at North Kingston's building a program with his input, and you know, he's building a heck of a program down there. So, I mean, this Power 4 this year, I'm interested to see how it plays out, because it's really, I think for all the years I've been doing this, you know, you go back to the old days when Division I used to be 8 teams, and when I say old, I'm talking 10, 15 years ago. There were no easy games, and this is really going to be a really tough schedule for everyone in this Power 4 this year.
Yeah, because right before you went on your run, East Providence was a very good team. LaSalle, Portsmouth had it in 98.
Yep.
And, you know, and then, you know, Bishop Hendricken, you know, had it up until, I think, LaSalle got it in 2017, you know. So it's been, and every year it is a fight, you know, because you have to continuously put it all together. And what I noticed that Hendricken has is you have loyalty in your coaching staff.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely, you know, the I don't know about the secret to our success, but one thing that I'm not sure if they get enough credit, but my coaching staff has been phenomenal, and they've been consistent pretty much through this run that we've been on. And that's important for any program. I mean, there's a lot of continuity, kind of know what to expect, how to prepare for. My 2 coordinators have been phenomenal this year, and obviously years in the past. And we've really kept the staff together, and we really enjoy each other's company. We're good friends. So that's been a big part of our success, no question.
Now, you have a lot of young kids this year on the defense. Who has impressed you so far?
Well, you know, it's still kind of early, but I do like the way we played defensively. I think, you know, we've given up some big plays the last 2 weeks, but we've also had some really important stops and drives, and we've had some guys make plays. It's been a really good mix. We have a few seniors on the defense, but we also have a lot of young guys, some sophomores and juniors that are first-year starters that have really played well. And it's really a unit thing. Today, the heat was just – probably didn't appreciate it seeing on TV or on video. It was brutal out there for both teams. You know, guys were dropping left and right, a lot of cramping. So both teams were shuffling guys in and out. And, you know, it was just one of those unfortunate games where sometimes the heat had a huge impact on the game with all the cramping.
I heard that a lot during last night's games, you know, a lot of cramping going on. Coach Goodhart talked about it. He said, I have not really played in a game where we had that much cramping.
Yeah. Early in the season, it's a lot generally for 2 reasons. You still have the heat and humidity, even if you play on a Friday night, and the bodies, the kids are still getting, their bodies are still getting acclimated to all the sweat and electrolytes that they're losing. So that's a concern of ours heading into next week against NK, because they can keep you busy offensively and defensively. So we're going to have to gear up for that this week in practice.
Yeah, quarterback that can definitely throw the ball, but you have a good staff. Like you said, the staff don't get enough credit. Do you want to talk about a couple of them guys? Do you want to, you know, give some of them some love?
Yeah, I mean, my 2 coordinators have done a phenomenal job. Coach Panaleo has been with me a long time. He runs my offense, and Coach Hogan's my defensive coordinator, and this is his 2nd year now as a defensive coordinator, but he's been on staff a while. And previous to that, it was Mike Green, who was our longtime defensive coordinator. And then all my other coaches who have been with us for so long, our line coaches, our linebacker coach, our running back coach. We've all been together through this for a long time. And like I said, we're friends on and off the field. You know, we get along well. We kind of know each other's thinking. Expectations are clear, and that's a big part of it. You know, not to say we don't have disagreements at times. We do, because sometimes we can have different philosophies. But I think all in all, we really have the best interest of the program at heart.
All right, Keith. I know you're a busy guy. Salute to Mike Green. Big fan of the show, as well as Jason Hogan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nice guy. I was hoping to get this game uh, where no one else was playing football. I thought that would have been great for Rhode Island. Was there any thought put into that?
Of what?
Like having this game when no other games were going on, just to get more fans in the place from around Rhode Island because you was playing an out-of-state team? Was there any
You mean
thought?
like yeah, you mean like at a different time or something?
Yes, having it like on a.
Yeah. Yeah, we got kind of we got kind of hamstrung a little bit just because of it. We had to kind of defer to New Hampshire. They were making the long trip and they're heading home after this game. So I think that in the future maybe if we could do like a Saturday night or something. But we definitely listen. That's been a goal of ours since I've been here the last few years. Is we want to try to up the ante with our schedule out of state. I think we have to be selective of who we schedule, but they seem like a great fit for us. Londonderry, I think they're a similar program to us, and Londonderry, excuse me. I think they're a similar program to ours. And, the team we played last week out of New York, Monsignor Farrell, very comparable to us. That was a great experience for us. So, I think as we continue to schedule these out-of-state games, I think, whether we play on Friday nights or on Saturdays, we know, we tell our kids this, we know we represent not just our program, but the state of Rhode Island when we step out of state. So it's important to us.
And Monsignor Farrell, that was only a 4 or 5 point game, right?
Yeah, so that was a really tough loss for us. We had the lead with under a minute to go. Our kids fought back, clawed back, kind of similar to the games a little bit. Today's game, they jumped out on us early. Our kids battled back, and if we made one or two more plays down the stretch, we probably should have won that game. But sometimes when you lose those close games early on, your kids and coaches learn a lot, and I'm hopeful that helps us progress a little bit as the season goes on.
Well, Coach Croft, thank you. I appreciate your time. You have NK up next, and then Portsmouth the week after that. I'm sure you got a lot to get ready for. Thank you to the Londonderry team for coming down to Rhode Island, and I hope our state represented well. I hope we was respectful, and I hope New Hampshire comes back again.
Yeah, no, it was a great experience. Both fans, no issues. Everybody was great. I think it was really a great game. The final score is very misleading. It was back and forth most of the way. So, we hope to continue it, and hopefully, we'll go up there next year. Maybe they can come back down the following year.
Coach Croft, man, you're welcome to come on anytime. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I can cross you off the bucket list now. I can stop bothering you. Salute to you, buddy.
I'll be happy to come on again this year. Absolutely.
Excellent, man. All right, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Mike. Thank you.
Coach Croft, Bishop HENDRICKEN, Hawks football coach, has been doing a really amazing job. People can say what they want, but since 2010, been definitely putting it together, winning great championships. So salute to him. He's got more rings than he got fingers. Gonna have to stop making some toe rings soon. But thank you, Keith. Appreciate it. We're gonna connect with the Londonderry coach and get him on soon. We had a lot of great games. We'll have some scores a little bit later. But yep, so thank you. Big Dola Design, custom decor home gear right in Warwick, Rhode Island. I gotta get the website for Dola Design, but Blake Simpson, you can reach out to him and he'll definitely hook you up with that. We thank the United States Air Force, Sean Priest, for hooking up with the Can We Keep It Real podcast. We're going to nominate some Rhode Island high school players, and the Air Force is going to present them with an award. So if you have some players that you think would be good candidates to be nominated and would love to receive an award from the Air Force, let me know. Some of the scores that went on, Pontigansett had a tough game over with North Smithfield, was 7-7 up until like right around 5 minutes to go, 3 minutes to go. Pontigansett was able to kick a field goal. Moses Brown beat Shea 31-6. Coach Gary Goodhart talked very highly about one of the Moses Brown, their upcoming quarterback. Central giving it to EG. Funny thing about this, Central even scored the 2 points that EG got. Hey, you snapped the ball in the end zone. That's what happened. EP and Pilgrim, Coach Simpson was not as torn up as I thought he was. He said it was a good competition going against a strong team like East Providence. He said, but now it's time to get back to league play. North Kingstown and Portsmouth. Emerson Kilgore said it last night. Don't let the score dictate how Portsmouth is playing. They're a scrappy team that really did not give up. St. Ray's. I heard Daniel Wolf threw like 4 or 5 tutties. Is that true? Well, salute to him. That's the former Situate quarterback. Yes, thank you. Definitely inbox me and inbox me people that you think would be in line for the Air Force Award, and we'll definitely make that happen. Again, I'm so happy that the Air Force decided that the Can We Keep Real podcast is the platform that they wanted to represent. And it speaks a lot about what a lot of people say about the podcast, and a lot of people think I'm like, most of my strikes are defensive strikes. We'll just leave it at that for another day. But St. Ray's 47 and Tolman 12. Coach DeLawrence meet Moses Muse. And a lot of coaches that already met Moses Muse, he is going to be a problem. Westerly and Charahoe, have you ever seen a 3-hour game? Well, Coach Dunbar talked about it last night on the Can We Keep It Real podcast. A 3-hour game is just what he had up there. He said, Mikey, if I say what I want to say, I'll get fined or even suspended. The officiating was that bad. The officiating, see, they're trying to implement some new things in there, so he was not happy with the way the officiating went. Middletown, to start the season, Middletown said, watch out. Middletown's a good school, and they met Rogers, and Rogers didn't do as good as they wanted to do. Rogers loses that game. Big time. So Middletown seems to be stepping up in Division 3. Central and EG. What other games did we not? I don't have the Smithfield North Providence score yet. Coventry put 38 up on Cranston. East scored 12. And, to end last season, we did a top 11 high school coaches in football. And we're preparing to do a bottom 11 high school coaches in football. And Cranston East is really creeping inside the top 10 as a high school football program. Respect to them, and I don't mean disrespect to anybody when I make these polls, But people are listening. But thank you, Keith Croft. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to everybody that supports the program. And we have a new show on Thursday nights. Let me tell you about it. It's called Coaches Pick'em, where we have coaches come on. And what the coaches will do is we have 10 games we pre-select. And the coaches will pick who they think are going to win in them games. And now the games are over. Week 1, here's what some of the coaches. Let me get this out of here. I'm going to show you what some of the coaches decided on for their games for week 1. Where is this one? Okay. Now we'll show you what some of the coaches picked. Mikey Washington, Central Knights, picked Cranston West, Lincoln, Pono, NK, Central CF, PCD, Westerly, Woonsocket, and Middletown. Central Falls won big. I'm not sure about the PCD Tiverton game as of yet. And another coach. This is not the guy. This is not Coach Fulton. This is the guy from Footloose. Remember the guy from Footloose? Does he not look like Coach Fulton? But Coach Fulton picked Cranston West, Johnston, Pontiac, North Kingstown, Central Falls, PCD, Westerly. Woonsocket wins as well today. That was like a 10-point game against Classico. I know a bunch of starters were not in for Woonsocket, but I think Woonsocket's going to be a very big team in D2 again. And Middletown. Let's see. Our next coach was Blizzy Blake. Blizzy Blake having a very good, 2022, wins the lacrosse championship, wins the softball championship. This guy's just winning championships left and right, and then here he goes. Team Pink, Blizzy Blake, Breakthrough Football. Shout out to Breakthrough, big sponsor of the show. Blizzy Blake wins that, so here we go now. He's in the coach's pick'em. Cranston West, he loses that one. Johnston loses. Johnson lost big. Ponagansett, North Kingstown, Central, CF, Tiverton. Coach Sheridan over there. Westerly, Woonsocket, and Rogers. And our brother, Coach Penn. Congratulations. What West Warwick is doing in Division 3. Salute to Coach Pennington. Everyone knows the coaching issues he had this season. Salute to him. Doing a fantastic job. And I think West Warwick will do well in Division 3 this season, barring everyone stays healthy. But Coach Penn's picks was West Warwick, Lincoln, North Smithfield, NK, Central, CF, PCD, Westerly, Woonsocket, and Rogers. Stanley Dunbar, Cranston West, Lincoln, Pono, North Kingstown, Central, CF, PCD, Westerly, Woonsocket, and Middletown. And we had a few other coaches, but we didn't have the artwork set up for them. We have Coach Piver, Coach Eddie Insco, Coach Anthony Alejandro, but we didn't have time to get the artwork. I slacked off. But thank you, Keith Croft. Really appreciate you coming on. Keith said he'll come on again. You all heard him. So I'm gonna hold him. I'm gonna hold him to that. Big shout out to Mark Wright, Coldwell Banker, Coastal Homes, a presidential award winner. If you would like to help the show, we would really appreciate it. We have Cash App. We have what's this other one? Venmo. You can get like a picture. Even we have things for parents to post. Good luck to your kids. We really appreciate it. Because this is all about representing Rhode Island football. And to all the sideline reporters this week, last week, sending me in all the scores. I could not have done this without you guys. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it. I'm a one-man show, just working my butt off to represent Rhode Island high school football.
Get ready, it's coming. You hunting or you running? Get ready.
Oh, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to, but okay. Boy, I feel silly. But thank you.
When I drop you off, you never see your father. Saw 48 hours of the week. It's not enough for us to speak. It's not enough for me to teach. I wanna hug you. You're out of reach. You're so far away. I just want you here with me. Just know this wasn't up to me. Driving from your mama crib, I find it hard to breathe. Hard to tell you what I'm.
Top Now's, it was written in 96. Go to Yellow's downtown to get my Nike kicks. Little rollies in my soul when I write these scripts. No matter where I go, I do it all our way. And I can't forget the bug on the highway. Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island.
Where you at? Where you at?
Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Rhode Island. Shout out to Swanati and Chachi, my brother Eighth Wonder. See Roman Rock, tell him bring back the funk funker. J Sonic, Mechalek, and my man Joey Beats. You can catch me up at Snookers with Sneak Technique. Your boy App's doing good, hope I made y'all proud. Man, if Curly Cut could only see me now. Saw Sturby at Jerky's, all my crew. At one point or another, rock RIU. Gotta say, if it wasn't for 90.3, your boy E might not even be an MC. Got so many friends from Prop to C-Town. Been so long, kinda hard to speak now. You know who you